in any weather. We ain't out the trolls, it can't get any better. My flow stay cold, I'm in a Gucci sweater. Rich TV gang, yeah, we trendsetters. We just growing all the time, that's the philosophy. No mockery can take us down, there's no one that's on top of me. I see you reaching out, you digging for a bigger riot, bigger mouth, trying to get you caught. Now what you talking about? I see you slithering, you're moving like a snake do. But I'm a trauma finna turn you into snake food. You a rat, so we setting up a trap. Pull the trigger, there's no jigger, but you finna fade the black. You can stop it, shine. I'm the lie. Start a riot, you better off quiet. This what happened when angel versus the devil. When my verses you remember engraved up all in your temple. This what happened when good versus evil. This what happened to the haters, cause everything ain't equal. Nah, this what happened when your friends turn into enemies. This is Rich TV Live, the entity. This what happened when positive versus negative. We never ever listen, cause they always on some hater shit. This what happened when envy turned to jealousy. When green turned into green, never defeating all our energy. Why you DMing the girl and posting the pic of a rash at your profile pic, you dig? Why you make a switch from being a sick prick to someone that has just a little bit of intelligence? You can infiltrate the people that you want, but you doing us a favor cause you weeding out the punks. Take all the trolls with you, we'll never roll with you. You'll never grow, open the door, the cold hit you. Here's all the old pictures when we were dope with you, but now we ain't. I'm giving thanks, you sold your soul, didn't you? I'm with the gold ninja, you're cooking up the beats. The rhymes delicious, oh my god, they're good enough to eat. So if you're down, you can roll with the rich crew. And if you ain't, we turning your shit into rich food. What can I say? It's time to pay just like the rent dude. Why you lying? Always crying like a kid do. I'm always slicing with my Ginsu. Miss Tater, yeah, I see you on the menu. Making videos, shit, that's what a friend do. Take your pills, boy, you mental. This what happened with good versus evil. This what happened to the haters, cause everything ain't equal. Nah, this what happened when your friends turn into enemies. This is Rich TV Live, the entity. This what happened when positive versus negative. We never ever listen, cause they always on some hater shit. This what happened when envy turned to jealousy. When green turned into green, never defeating all our energy. So, I want to speak on George Floyd and what's happening here.
Hours ago, in the nation's capital, peaceful protesters last night gathering Lafayette Park across from the White House.
You know, may he rest in peace. It's very, very, very sad to see what's happening. I'm actually watching CNN right now.
Peaceful protesters, I again underline, all of which so President Trump could walk across the street and have his photo taken in front of St. John's Church.
And of course, they're talking about what Trump wasn't doing.
In a moment,
of course.
a priest who was forced to leave from St. John's yesterday. So President Trump.
Peaceful protesters tear gas for Trump church photo op. This is what CNN is talking about. This is their topic. I'm watching it just to prove a point. This is the topic they're talking about right now. So I just want to say something. Like, I'm watching this right now, and it looks to me like there's actually a lot of peaceful protests for George Floyd, and may he rest in peace, because nobody should ever have to die like that. And I have nothing against peaceful protesting. And I think people should protest. What I don't like is seeing America burn, seeing America loot. And I mean, they keep there to CNN showing the video again. I mean, why do you guys keep showing the video? I don't understand it. You know? I think if you're a police officer and it's your job to take care of somebody and somebody dies in your custody, you should be treated the same way as every other civilian. So I agree that there should be something done about this. Like, there should not be, you should not be above the law. If you're a police officer, people need to be feeling comfortable and safe around police officers. We shouldn't feel like we could just die in police custody. But look, people are talking about people shooting at police officers. People are destroying other businesses. So you guys, if you do those things and you participate in this craziness, you're destroying your own country. You're destroying your own cities where your children have to live and go to school. And it's starting to look like a war zone in some places in America. So this needs to stop. We need to be more intelligent.
We need to protect everybody. We can't be destroying our cities and our streets and our businesses and our stores. These are people's livelihoods. You guys are robbing and stealing from your friends, from your family, from your neighbors. These are business owners. They're real people that are being looted. So peaceful protesting, I totally agree with that. But when it becomes a riot and when it becomes an attack on people and when it becomes an attack on businesses and when it becomes an attack on property, now what you're doing is you're destroying your own country. And that's what needs to stop.
Using social media for Blackout Tuesday, posting black images to their profiles. But some activists say, while Ron's mentioned, hashtagging these posts, Black Lives Matter, drowns out critical updates from people on the ground. This young protester telling us after decades of empty talk and change, this moment feels different.
For once, everybody's kinder and everybody's ready for change. White people, black people, out here, if you look, this is not just black people in this movement. We have white, black, Asian, Hispanic, Native. Everybody is sick of the racism within this system.
So people are protesting about racism within the system. And if they protest peacefully like they are right now, like I see right now in Minnesota, then there's nothing wrong with that. I think that that's what it should be done. But we should not be allowing anybody to destroy our properties. We shouldn't be allowing anybody to put assaults on other people. We should be standing up and protecting our properties and protecting our stores and protecting our people. And we should be protecting our officers, and our officers should be protecting the public. Officers are supposed to serve and protect the public. We need to be safe in the custody of the police.
And outraged at what happened in New York City last night. The NYPD and the mayor did not do their job. The mayor,
Governor Cuomo is blaming the NYPD and the mayor
police in New York City
for not doing their jobs.
were not effective at doing their job last night. Period. It was a disgrace.
Wow. Cuomo calling it a disgrace. That's what I'm saying, guys. We need to be smarter. Stay at home, stay safe. Do not engage in this violence. If you want to protest, that's one thing. But even if you protest, you're putting yourself out there now. So just be careful. Let me read some of you guys' messages. Thank you guys for being here. I'm watching CNN right now, and I just want to see what they're talking about. So New York City right now is setting an earlier 8 p.m. curfew after a night of looting and violence. So there was looting and violence in New York City last night. Right now it looks as though there is peaceful protest, and I hope that it just continues and we can get this under control. There's no need to destroy our country. Scott says, "What's up, Rich? It's crazy in the streets." Sad, man. We need to get things under control, man, before it gets really out of control and escalates even further. Massive mobs of people keep attacking and doing really, really, really bad things and dangerous things that are going to destroy the country. Rob says, "I don't understand how the Dow can be up. Talk about a disconnect between Main Street and Wall Street. Stimulus money. Stimulus. How can it be up throughout this whole thing, right? Like, look at the news right now. It's crazy." I was just watching in horror as Los Angeles was burning. I'm like scared to turn on the news right now. So I'm just trying to see what's going on right now. It looks as though things are under control right now. But last night, the night before, like, it's just getting crazy.
Trump has faced heavy criticism for his visit to St. John's Church, which police say
2000, the year the dragon, says there might be people who want to start riots. We need to calm down. Stay calm, guys. Stay level-headed. We can't destroy our country we live in. Think about our children. Think about the future. We don't need the streets to look like war zones. Look, Cody says, MedMan store in Cali got looted, everything gone. Sad.
for the protesters to be pushed back on Monday.
Nick says, very sad, absolutely needs to stop. Enough of this. Yeah, man. Let's all come out and let's talk about what we think about this because it's sad. It's really, really sad. And people can't justify robbing and looting and assaulting other people. You want to protest what happened to George Floyd? I'm all for it because what happened to him is disgusting. It's disgusting. And I think that police officer, maybe that police officer should be dealt with. It should be an eye for an eye. You know? Why are you allowed to just take a man's life like that? I totally agree. But I'm not going to go and assault another police officer or assault another human being or start destroying somebody's business and steal from somebody. That doesn't make it all right. That doesn't make it all right. We need to be intelligent. We can't destroy our country.
Much more calm in Washington last night.
Sad.
Said, quote, there will be an even greater law enforcement.
Rodrigo says Democrats are a mess. They need to be forced out of office. I think it's sad. These are a war in politics. This is a political war, which is trying to make it about race, and it's not even about race.
In New York City, we have his audio fixed.
It's not a race issue. This is a political issue. And everybody wants to try to make Trump look bad. I even saw a video of bricks. Why are bricks being laid out on the streets for people to grab them, throw them, and destroy things? No, listen, brother. I don't think it's right for anybody to do what happened to George Floyd. I think that's disgusting. I'm disgusted. But we can't be destroying our country. We can't be destroying the businesses. We can't be stealing from all the businesses, all the entrepreneurs. We can't just be putting everybody out of business. We can't be destroying and burning our country. We got to think about the children. You got to think about the future. We have to evolve. What happened to George Floyd is disgusting. And Black lives do matter. All lives matter. What happened to George Floyd shouldn't happen to anybody. This is what I'm asking you. I saw a video of bricks being sitting there. Why are bricks being put there for people to riot? Is this even happening? I'm in Canada. Is this even happening? I'm trying to understand what's going on here. Is this being orchestrated? Because I know that this is not 99% of Americans. Most Americans do not want to destroy their own country. Why would you want to destroy your own country? Let's not create a race war. Let's be smarter than this. Let's be smarter than this. Let's be smarter than this. Let's not make this about race. Let's be smarter than this. Let's outsmart the politicians. Let us people be smarter than this. Let's overcome this. Let's be smarter. If we have to stay home, let's stay home. Let's protect our streets. Let's protect our businesses. Let's protect our people. Let's protect our country. Let's protect our children. Let's protect our futures. Is there racism? Yes. Are there racist people? Yes. But is this on the news that I'm watching on CNN about racism? Or is this about propaganda? I'm trying to understand what's really going on. I'm not in America. I want to know. I'm in Canada. And I want to know your guys' opinions. But do you think it's really smart to destroy your own country that you live in?
Trudeau showed me exactly how many I had and made it so easy to cancel all.
Anthony Rice says Fox does the same thing that CNN does. So all the media, guys, understand, is controlled by certain people. So if Trump is going after those people, then they're going after Trump. That's really the war. So what I'm saying is, let's not destroy our country. Let's not play into this game that's being played. Let's be smarter than this. Let's evolve as people. What happened was terrifying. Watching someone die and to keep watching it over and over again, it keeps playing in my head. Why they do this, I don't understand. I just saw it again. They just keep showing it. I'm watching CNN right now, trying to prove a point. Because when I go to their website, all I see is them talk about Trump. It should be like Trump NN. It should be Trump NN, not CNN, Trump NN, TNN, Trump NN. That's all they talk about is Trump. And what he doesn't do. And I'm looking at protests that look like they're peaceful. So I don't see anybody looting right now. But then I guess at nighttime, everybody starts to loot. So this is what I'm trying to say. Like, is this really happening in America, guys? I don't know. Is America getting destroyed? Is it just one little section? Is this being orchestrated? Is this even real? I have no idea. I'm watching CNN, so I have no idea as a Canadian what's going on, but I don't want to see America burn. I don't want to see businesses getting destroyed. I don't want to see people being afraid to leave their homes. I don't want to see people getting violated, people getting injured, people fighting police, police killing people killing police. Like, when does this stop? When does this stop?
Stop taking Jardiance. Call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection. Ketoacidosis.
Money printer, yeah. 2000, the year of the dragon, says they might go to a martial law, and I really don't want to happen. Yeah, who wants martial law? Travis says, Rich, what's up? This is absolutely crazy. I can't believe my eyes. Yeah, I can't believe this world that we're living in right now. And I just want everyone to understand we need to be smarter than this, man. We need to be smarter than this. We don't want to destroy our country. We want to be able to walk out on the streets and not be walking into a war zone, guys. Let's be smarter than this. We're smarter than this.
Because science is how we get back to normal.
Josh Cook says, violent protests achieve nothing. Once again, they blame Trump. I know. So it's just this vicious cycle of everyone on the news blaming Trump. So what does that really mean? Is that a campaign strategy? So you're going to destroy your own country to get Trump out of office? Like, it's just crazy. Protesters attack. I don't know why. Well, because they're angry, right? And you're just fueling that anger. You're fueling that anger. You just seen someone die. It's saddening. But look, everyone's being peaceful right now. Most people are being peaceful. And good on you people for protesting peacefully. But when you're in these large groups have a tendency to get out of control. So you have to be careful. I don't know if I would do this. I mean, it takes a very brave person to do this. And I understand there's a very important cause here. But with every cause, there's an effect. And now there's police and there's military. So do you want to be a part of that? Ask yourself, do you really want to be part of that? And if you are, just be careful because you might not come home. It's sad, but this is a situation where it's, I mean, I'm watching it right now unfold. So hopefully it stays under control. Anthony says, Rich, I'm a black man. I could see myself under that police officer's knee. People are just angry. Yeah, that's horrific, bro. Man, I'm saddened for everyone, man. I'm saddened for George Floyd, his family, for everyone, man. Everybody. It's disgusting, man. You know, and the fact that they just keep playing it, it just won't go away. They're like fueling it. Do you understand what I'm saying? They won't let it go away by constantly playing it. They're fueling it. This is what CNN's doing. They're fueling it. And I'm looking at right now, and it seems like everyone's being pretty peaceful. Everyone's got flags. You know, people don't want to see their country burn. 2000 says, George Floyd's brothers even said he did not want this. Nobody wants to see their country burn. The American dream is to run your own business. Let's not destroy American businesses. Let's not steal from American businesses. I've seen videos with people showing me bricks that are being placed in the middle of these riots. Why are bricks being placed there? And who placed them? Peaceful protesters pushed back so that President Trump could have that photo op in front of him. Look, they're talking about how peaceful protesters were pushed back so that Trump could do a photo op. Do you see what the discussion is on CNN right now? This is their focus. It's unbelievable. This is what their focus is. It's constantly talking about Trump. Trump News Network, TNN, the Trump News Network. It's crazy. Investing Cartel says deep state trying to start a race war. But when I look at protesters, I see diversity. Exactly. Josh Cook says some of these protesters are funded. It's crazy. Exactly. I'm reading your messages. Keep giving me your messages. Josh Cook says, Investing Cartel, I'm not a conspiracy guy at all, but I actually think that's what's happening. See, I'm not in America, guys, but I want you guys to tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. 2000, the year of the dragon, says, yes, there are some protesters with earpieces. Yeah, but those could be undercover police too. Michael says, divide and conquer. Investing Cartel says, Josh Cook, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a bullshit analyzer. Jason V says, because my country doesn't respect my people and never has, this country destroys other countries. Wow, that's a strong statement.
Sort of medical support volunteers, and we were, handing out.
Johnny Liberty says all media is controlled. 100% it is. Bashir says the media is dividing the nation. This is why I'm saying that we as people, we can't allow that to happen. We got to be smarter than that. We are not a nation that's divided. If we were a nation that was divided, when everybody was told to go home and stay inside, people wouldn't have stayed inside. We are clearly not a nation that's divided because when we were told to go inside, we all stayed inside. So we're not a nation that's divided. And America is still a country where people can become successful with every color. Look at LeBron James. He's hugely successful. I would dream of being as successful as LeBron James. I would dream of being as successful as Michael Jordan. So in America, you still have a country where you can be successful with any type of color or any religion if you work hard enough. It's called the American dream. I believe that still exists, but I'm not in America. As a Canadian, I still believe that that exists as a Canadian. But if that doesn't exist in America, please let me know. But I still believe it exists. But please let me know if it doesn't.
Try to tend to them and help them on the ground, and suddenly the police were pushing us down.
Anthony says, I go to Fox and they only show black men looting. Well, obviously we know that it's not just black men looting. Obviously it's all kinds of people looting because there's people that are looking to take advantage of a situation anywhere and everywhere. So this is a situation that can become very scary and we need to be really intelligent right now. And we can't allow this to continue. We need to stop this. We need to be smarter than this. We need to go inside at night and allow the police to arrest all the people that are doing this. And we can't allow this to continue. We need to protect our cities, our streets, our children, our schools, our buildings, our police officers. And our police officers need to protect our streets and the people. And we need to work together with the police, not against the police. Because if we don't have the police to protect us, then who's going to protect us? Then it just creates chaos. We cannot live in a world of chaos. So we need to be level-headed. We need to be intelligent human beings right now in 2020. And we need to evolve and we need to overcome this. We need to be smarter than this. And we have to think about who's fueling all this. Johnny Liberty says, different people come out at night. Yeah, those are the people that are the professional rioters that are looking to loot and take advantage of these situations. Because this is a situation where if you're a professional looter, you can really take a lot of money, jewelry. Those are the places that they want to go and really take advantage of, looting. And then you see the people, the mob mentality is just going to follow. And they're going to go in and they're going to go and grab, smash and grab because everyone else is. So it's a very scary thing that's happening right now. And if it just continues, it could destroy the whole nation, and we don't want that.
Literally, what people were texting me as I was going back to my car saying, is the president really there? And I could still hear the flashback.
Josh Cook says the cop had 18 complaints against him. The Minnesota police failed as well. There's no doubt that in this world, there's bad cops. There's going to be bad cops. There's going to be bad people. There's going to be good people. There's going to be crooked cops. We all know this. So It's terrifying. It's disgusting. And this is why we need to stop this. Because if this continues, it's only going to get worse. Because there are bad cops out there, and there are police that are going to pull the trigger. So do you want to be there at the wrong place at the wrong time when he pulls the trigger? And then imagine the police that are just scared, just trying to do their job, and they're under attack. So this will just continue to escalate. So it's very scary. 2000, the year of the dragon, says they're doing this because not a lot of standing up for the news media. It's very sad what the media has turned into.
People who, by the way, were protesting their violent treatment by the
DJ VIP 2011 says, Rich TV Live 2020 came with a lot of crazy things, bro. I can't believe what we're dealing with. I can't believe what we're dealing with.
Right, and privilege and culture. And holding the
Cody Olsen says, I watched a video of a married couple trying to protect their family store in Cali, and the people broke in and beat him and his pregnant wife. Super sad. See that? This is what I'm saying. That is disgusting. Beating a pregnant woman? It's not a race war, man. This is just stupidity. Mario says the race war is the last stand for Democrats and Biden to get into office. They blaming Trump and inciting protesters into voting. It's deep state agenda. I agree. That is crazy, guys. So we got to be smarter than that. If that is their agenda, we need to be smarter than that. We need to be smarter than that. 2000, the year of the dragon, says only 1% of the U.S. is rich. The small building start destroying does really bad for the owners. Yeah, if you start destroying the small businesses, you're just killing everybody. You're really just destroying all of America. Because being a business owner is the American dream. A lot of crazy things have happened this year, and it's only June. You're right. America is destroyed. Yeah, Thor, it's very sad. RG says Antifa tactic. DJ VIP says 99% of the news always talk on Trump. That's all they talk about. Why do they only talk about Trump? Anthony Rice says Trump talked to the brother of George Floyd and didn't listen to him at all. That makes me so mad. What did he do, Anthony? What do you mean he didn't listen? I'm not trying to say Trump is perfect, guys. I'm not trying to say that at all. Make Gohan great again says, if coronavirus cases don't spike, I'm going to have a lot of questions.
Thank you. Bless you. I mean that.
God bless you as well. 8 days after George Floyd's death.
Dollar Bill says, part 2, Rich. LOL, I feel you, bro. Tearing apart our community is so counterproductive. We can't destroy our cities, guys. We can't destroy our country. Protest if you choose. But remember, when you protest, now you're in a very large group of people. They're getting angry. A lot of emotions. You know, and then before you know it, it just turns crazy. You know, who's putting those bricks there? Think about it, guys. Right? Let's be smarter than that. Let's not destroy our country. Let's be smarter than that. Let's have a future. We need a future so we can continue to evolve as people, have a better life. We need to go back to having a better life. And the next election is coming, and it's just scary to think, how do we deal with an election in times like this? Vincier says, as we near the next election, we will see more and more incidents of racial unrest, which always seems to occur in heavy Dem-controlled cities and states, which is sad, guys. We need to be smarter than this. Let's not play their game, guys. Let's be smarter than this. We're smarter than this. We're past that. We're past that. Do you think when I walk by someone, I look at their color? I don't even look at their color. What do you mean? My friends are every color. I got friends that I love of every color. I love women of every color. I love them all. So, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't got too many friends that say, "Oh, I only like girls of this color." Most of my friends like them all. We like them all. I don't know. Most of our Canadians are like that. And I met a lot of Americans, and we go down to the Dominican and we party pretty hard. And they tell me the same thing. They travel the world and they like them all. So I don't know, man. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I buy it. 2000, the year of the dragon, says there might be some people being paid. There might be some people being paid to start the riots, playing on the protesters' emotions. There's people with earpieces under their hat. See, that's just crazy. So that's when you start just getting crazy. They're burning their own country. Why are we allowing people to burn the country? Why doesn't someone stop those people? If everybody just goes home, then technically, who's starting these riots, right? Adriano says, would be more understandable if they destroy the family businesses of the cops involved. Would send a stronger message. Hey, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not trying to tell you guys what you should do. I don't think destroying anything or attacking anybody is ever the answer to anything. What I'm trying to say is, if you want to protest peacefully, that's one thing. Everybody should have a voice. I'm having a voice right now. We're live. We're having a voice. But let's not destroy the country. Let's not destroy the city. Let's give our children a future. I got kids. I want my kids to grow up and have a future. I don't want them to go outside and see a war zone and have them be assaulted by some animals on the streets in my own cities. I don't want to live in that type of place. I'm seeing that type of environment on TV. I don't know if this is true. This is why I got CNN live right now. While I'm live, I'm trying to watch it to see what's going on. I want to know, and I just want to know what you guys are seeing. Because right now, nothing really matters to me. The stock market, all this stuff, none of it matters right now. I want to know what's going on in our world. Like first it was coronavirus. Now it's riots. It's Trump's fault for this riot and Trump's fault for that riot and Trump's fault for this. Oh, Trump's police were tear gassing the people for a photo shoot. This is what CNN is talking about. This is what I'm seeing. I'm just telling you guys what I'm seeing. So I want to know if it's true. Vincier says, you are being manipulated as the wounds of racism are so easily plucked. But it is not our fault, even if we controlled your cities and states for decades. Mr. Lou says, Rich, the Boston Tea Party was started from riots. Vincier says, what is the best possible outcome in the George Floyd case? I mean, I don't even know how to answer that. May George Floyd rest in peace. Black lives do matter. It's a very sad day. I'm not saying that people shouldn't protest and people shouldn't have a voice. People should have a voice. People should protest peacefully. But destroying your country, destroying your businesses, burning things, looting, throwing bricks through windows, I don't agree with that. I'll never agree with that. Violence against another human being, I will never agree with that. So I see right now George Floyd's family is taking part in a Houston march. I totally agree with that. If that's what you feel like you need to do to create change, that is one thing. But destroying property, injuring other people, attacking other people, assaulting other people, there's no place for that. Burning other buildings and burning things, putting police cars on fire, there's no need for that. Mr. Liu says, Americans only understand violence. America was founded on violence. It's sad. I really hope that that's not the case. Vincier says the best outcome in this circumstances is that the police involved would be investigated, charged, tried fairly, with outcome decided by a jury. Wow, there is now breaking news. There is the Minneapolis police to go undergo a civil rights investigation for what took place with George Floyd. So they have no choice but that they're going to have to do something serious here. Something serious is going to have to happen here. And that's good. They should do something serious here because you should not be murdering somebody in broad daylight as a police officer. Like, that should not be happening. So it's disgusting. And they have to do something. And I'm happy they are doing something. And see, a peaceful protest is actually forcing their hand to do something, which is good. You know, you can see George Floyd's family right now. They're all mourning, and it's sad. You know, it's really sad. And it's in Minnesota right now. This is live. I'm watching the family of George Floyd. I mean, so it's very, very sad what has happened here, what's taken place. Mr. Lou says, violence may bring about change. Man, I don't believe violence will bring about change. I don't agree with that. Peaceful protesting, yes, but violence, I will never, ever, ever agree that violence is the solution. Vince here says, and that is what is exactly appears to be happening in this case. But we will have to wait for the wheels of justice to turn to determine the fairness of the final outcome. They're going to have no choice but to be very, very strict in this situation because there's just so much momentum against the Minnesota police right now. In this case, it's on camera. It's been filmed. They're caught red-handed committing murder. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. So I'm happy that change is happening. I hope change happens. People should not be murdered in police custody. That's disgusting. It's disturbing in so many ways. And like I said, I have nothing against anybody that's protesting peacefully. But when you start damaging, assaulting, hurting other people, that's when I have an issue. And that needs to stop. Rioting, burning, assaulting, destroying, looting, that needs to stop. This needs to stop now. We need to be more intelligent. We need to stay safe. And after 8 o'clock, we need to stay home. Let all the people that are doing all of this get arrested so that we can go back to our normal lives. Because I just want to live in a normal life, have a normal world where my kids can be safe. I don't feel safe in this world right now. I don't feel safe in this world. It's a very unsafe world. It's very scary. 2000, the year of the dragon, says it's time to start voting Congress members out. The more they're in, the more power they want. We need to get rid of all of these disturbing individuals. Vince here says we must acknowledge that the job of the police is a tremendously difficult one, but still there can be no room in their ranks for bad policemen or policewomen for that matter. I agree. They have to be held at a higher standard. They're the police. Serve and protect, right?
Well, as you know, the officer who has
Vince here says, yes, the abuses of the police should always be highlighted and aggressively and vigorously dealt with through the courts and through administrative action when appropriate.
on top of Floyd, one other officer standing there watching. Why would prosecutors be able to charge Chauvin so quickly, but not the others?
Mr. Lou says George Floyd was murdered by a white police officer. He will not go down as just another name without change. Mr. Lou says this is the time to be alive and do something about it. But what do you mean do something about it? You think that like rioting and fighting and looting is going to change things? I think peaceful protesting, showing people that you're intelligent and you have an intelligent voice, is a smarter way to do it. Instead of looking like a Neanderthal and destroying other people's businesses and lives, killing, murdering, injuring, assaulting other people. There's no room for that. I'll never agree to that. Michelle Clark says, Rich, I will leave you a longer message after the feed is over later. Lots is going on. I will give you a report from me, the people, not from the mainstream media. Yeah, because I'm only seeing what I see on CNN, and it just seems to me like CNN, all they want to talk about is Trump. So, you know, and they keep showing videos of Floyd being murdered. So I don't know why. And they're showing that there's protests underway, but they look like they're very peaceful to me. So I don't know. I just know what I'm seeing on TV. Vincier says, as we near the next election, we will see more and more incidents of racial unrest, which always seems to occur in heavy Dem-controlled cities and states. But ignore that fact and blame the other side. Mr. Liu says, people are still waiting for their unemployment checks. People are hungry. Minorities are hungry. The rich got bailed out. The rich got a loan. Yeah, that's not right. But let's protest that. Let's protest that and let's be intelligent about it. Let's not destroy our country. Let's not destroy our country. That's not the solution. Let's be intelligent. Let's have a voice. Let's show people that we're intelligent. We can have a voice and we can have peaceful protests where they're forced to hear us because we're all on social media now. We can all have a voice. So let's all get on social media and show the world that we're smarter than this. And we can have a voice and have a peaceful protest and a peaceful voice to create change. That's what we need to do. We don't need to create reasons to destroy things and reasons to hurt people. Vincier says, what role do we play in our own misery when we continue to vote these leaders into office just to let the same leaders fail our communities? I'm not disagreeing with you. Vincier says, the Dems have controlled Minneapolis uninterrupted since 1978 and with just 3 interruptions since 1945. But we try to blame Trump. Mr. Liu says, so guess what? People who are hungry are in the streets at night looting. That's crazy, man. That's scary, man. Gopa32 says, I feel like Batman and we live in Gotham City. Is it really like that? Mary says, creating chaos and division of people is the goal. Authoritarianism is the mission. Wow. Gopa32 says, Gotham City. Mr. Liu says, we do not condone violence. Hey, man. I don't know, man. Anthony Rice says, Rich, go to YouTube and see the brother interview. Send me it. Send it to me, richtvlive@gmail.com. I'll watch whatever you want me to watch, bro. I want to see the truth. I want to know what's really going on. Because I know I got brothers from other mothers, and they're from every race and culture. And anyone who knows me will tell you that. I've grown up with friends. I'm Portuguese. I've grown up with friends from every single culture. So Mr. Liu's saying rob the rich. Like, what do you mean by that? Rob the rich. So you're going to just take from people that worked hard to become successful? I don't know about that. You know, I don't know. I don't know about that. You know, rob the rich. It's a very loaded statement. Mullen Morrow says, WTER up another 10% today. Making bank. Get on the explosion. Hey, man. Good for you, bro. I'm glad to see that you're winning, man. And thank you for being a member, bro. I appreciate you. Mr. Liu says, you may not. You may have a God soul. Just pay attention to how the media is reporting the black looters versus the white looters. Hey, man, I'm not the media. I'm alternative media. I'm just telling you guys what I see on CNN because I'm not in America. I don't believe that the looters are of a color. You think I believe that the looters are of one color? I wouldn't say that for a heartbeat, even for a second. You know, like I'm watching right now CNN and they're showing protesters and everybody's looking like they're very calm. And I'm looking at it and it's people of every color. Every color. I see people of every color in Los Angeles right now. I'm watching it right now on CNN and everybody looks like they're peacefully protesting. And you know what? I have nothing against a peaceful protest. In fact, I think that you should protest what happened to George Floyd. And may he rest in peace. And nothing will ever be able to bring him back. And that is disgusting. And what those police did will never be forgiven. And I hope that that never happens to another human being ever. Of any color, any religion, any race, any gender. But what I see is a country that's not divided. I see, when I'm watching CNN right now, I see Los Angeles. I don't see anything burning. I just see a bunch of people standing around protesting non-violently, intelligently. This is what I want to see. Because if we see that, then we truly have a voice. But if we start destroying our country, we will not have a voice. Because then we will look like Neanderthals. And we will be destroying the American dream. We'll be destroying the Canadian dream if we riot here in Canada. And we loot here in Canada too. I don't condone anyone that's rioting in Canada. It's happening here too. It's happening in my cities too. So I'm not going to condone someone who's stealing from another Canadian person who's got a family that he's trying to figure out how to feed or she's trying to figure out how to feed, and then somebody goes and robs their store. I'm not going to condone that. But if you want to stand out and you want to protest and you want to have a voice, you want to get on social media and you want to talk about your feelings and you want to have a voice peacefully, I agree with that. All day, every day, I support you 1,000%. But the second you pick up a brick and you use it to assault another human being, or you use it to destroy another business, or you use it to attack a police officer, I will never agree with that. The police are there to protect us and serve us. We are there to protect them. We need to protect our streets. We need to protect our businesses. We need to protect our police. And our police need to protect us. They need to protect our businesses. They need to protect our streets so we can have a future. And, you know, there's a lot of people talking about police officers are overreacting, and I'm sure there are some bad police officers that are overreacting. But this is going to happen if we're going to be living in such hostility. Jason says, Rich, that business has insurance, but the people who lost their life unjustly aren't coming back. So, Jason, do you think that the solution is that those people should just be able to have a free-for-all and just steal from everyone's businesses? Not everybody has insurance. You can't just assume that everybody has insurance. So I don't buy that story. That's not how you're going to solve these problems. Mr. Liu says, peaceful protest rarely brings about change. American can rebuild, but we cannot bring back our black brothers and sisters. You want to rebuild America? You want to burn America down to prove a point and then rebuild it? You want your kids and your children to go to school in a burnt country? I'm sorry, I disagree with you. I do not want my country to burn to the ground, and I do not want America to burn to the ground. I will never agree with that attitude, ever, ever, ever. Sorry. I will never agree with that. 2000, the year of the dragon, says some Americans come to Canada to get affordable medicine.
We're not talking about, neither you nor I are talking about when somebody, a person, a civilian is violent, then police arrest them.
Frank says scumbag rioters set a house on fire with a child in it and wouldn't let first responders through. Police, lucky, were able to force through and save the family. Now it's time to lay down the law. Yeah, see, like stories like that, I will never, ever, ever agree with anything like that. That is just, if it is true, that is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, and I think that's a challenging question. When I heard that question posed,
2000, the year of the dragon, says destroying the building doesn't affect the cops. It will affect us much more. I don't see what destroying anything is doing other than destroying our cities and our streets and our countries that we're supposed to be protecting. We're supposed to be protecting our country. We're destroying our country from the inside out. Vin C says the root of this problem is clearly racism. At the end of the day, the issue is this man's upbringing, and perhaps the Minneapolis Police Department interview process is flawed. Well, clearly that police officer is, a terrible, terrible police officer, and he should go to jail for the rest of his life. And, he should probably, even get worse than that. Right? But we need to show we're intelligent people and that we're more evolved. And if we can show that we're more evolved and we're very intelligent, we will have a voice. We will have a voice and we will make things change. Things will change.
And the former police chief of has a new approach to policing.
Jason says, I agree, peaceful protests. Frank says, Antifa has wiggled their way into this, and this has become political. There were agendas, has nothing to do with Floyd, but to bring down the American government. So what I've been trying to say to you guys, this is really about politics. This is not about racism. The media is going to try to fuel this and make this about racism. But I'm telling you guys, this is about politics. This is not about racism. Because when I'm watching all the news networks in America, all I see is people from all different colors protesting together. To me, that shows me a country that's in solidarity. I see that 99% of the people do not want to burn their streets. They do not want to destroy their businesses. They don't want to destroy their buildings. They don't want to destroy their schools. They don't want to burn down houses. They want to protect their streets. They want to protect their fellow human beings. They want to protect the businesses. But it's that 1% or even the 0.1% or the 0.001% that's going to ruin it for everybody else. And I don't think that that's fair. I think we need to be smarter than this, and we need to evolve as people. And we need to show that we are evolved human beings in 2020 and that we're smarter than that. And that we can have a voice without destroying property. Infinite Possibility says the problem is it's hard to believe the news because it's very biased and promoting negative agendas. I agree with you. Swag Boy says only some feel safe in today's society. So when you say you want to return to regular, just know that regular is hell for a lot of people. I don't know. Like for me here in Canada, it's pretty normal for like my kids to be able to like walk to school without seeing like a car on fire. That's regular for me. But if you think that that's regular and you want that to be regular, then I don't want to live in your neighborhood. I don't want to live in your city. I don't want to be around somebody who wants to burn their city down and say that that should be regular. That's not my idea of regular. That's my idea of living in hell. So if you think this is hell and you think that burning your streets is going to make you less like hell, then I don't think you understand what hell is. If you burn your streets, then that is hell. So I don't understand how burning your streets is going to make your cities better. I don't understand how you burning all of the businesses and destroying all the businesses and destroying everything around you is going to make your life better. Explain that to me, how that's going to make your life better. Ben says, you're right on target. Keep up the good work. You are right on target. Keep up the good work. Thank you, bro. Infinite Possibility says, believe earnings tomorrow might be interesting. Mr. Lou says, Rich, you're not black. There are certain things you will never understand. Black people have been murdered on camera by the police for decades on tape. Black people have been oppressed. You know what? I'm not trying to disagree with you, Mr. Lou. I'm not trying to take that away from you, bro. What happened to George Floyd was disgusting. I'm saddened by it. You know, I have a lot of friends that are African American. I have a lot of friends that are Asian. I have a lot of friends that are white. I have a lot of friends that are Indian. I have a lot of friends, every single possible race, color, religion, life preference. You imagine it, you think about it. Believe me, they're my best friends. So it's terrifying to think that that could happen. Saddens me. Police are supposed to protect us. And I do believe that things need to change. But I think we need to do it in a peaceful way, in an intelligent way, in a way where we show that we are evolved in 2020. We have evolved. We have evolved. Let's show that we have evolved. And what happened is disgusting, but let's not destroy our country for our children to be able to have a future. You might think it's okay to destroy the country, but I don't think it's okay to destroy the country. So what makes you, because you think it's okay to destroy the country, right? Anthony Rice says, Martin Luther King did peaceful protest and look at what happened to him. But he's revered as a hero because of his peaceful protesting. He's revered as a hero. So I believe that as a world, if we unite and we have a voice and we think peacefully and we show through our intelligence and through our voice, through media, through alternative media, mass media, social media, if we show through our voice that we're intelligent, that we're smarter, that we can intelligently and effectively and efficiently, like a surgeon, get our point across, then we can move mountains. I'm seeing peaceful protests. The media is trying to make it something it's not. Remember that. I'm seeing a lot of peaceful protests right now. That's what I'm seeing. I see a lot of intelligent people. But what the media is trying to do is they're trying to make that small little concentrated people look like all of America is acting like that. But that's not true. That's not true. I'm watching it right now live. I don't see anybody anywhere right now rioting. Anywhere. Unless there's something I'm not seeing. I'm watching CNN. I'm trying to see if there's going to be riots. Haven't seen anything. I've been watching it for the last hour. I haven't seen any riots. Guys, if there's riots happening in America right now, please let me know. Jason Garza says, at a protest, one must know what goals they want met and list all demands. I agree. You need to have a voice and you need to do it peacefully so that you're heard. Swag Boy says, peaceful protests do not work. We have been peacefully protesting for decades. Still mistreatment. It's easy to ignore a peaceful protest. That's why the protest was peaceful, was burn it down. No, I don't agree with you. I totally disagree with you. The problem is people like you that are the 1% are destroying America. Max says, if he died in jail, they would have put his shirt around his neck, making it look like a suicide. 2000 says, I don't know if this is still a thing, but some Congress get paid when retired. Swag Boy says, killing people and mistreating people is not smart. America been stupid for centuries. Infinite Possibility says, maybe the cop had no choice. My dad was a cop for 30 years, and he was taught that deadly force is the last option when your life is threatened. Yeah, you know what? I don't know all the news or whatever. I just seen the video of him saying, I can't breathe, and then he dies. So it's horrific. It's horrific. Sad. Mr. Lou says, black people have been oppressed in America for 400 years. Only violence will create change. America was founded on violence and will be rebuilt of violence. I disagree with you. I think we've evolved from there.
This is CNN breaking news. Welcome to our viewers here in the United States and around the world. I'm Will Closer in the Situation Room. We're following breaking news. America in crisis. Protests underway right now in cities.
All I see is peaceful protests right now, all across America. Washington, Los Angeles, Houston, and Philadelphia, all peaceful protests. This is the way to have a voice. Continue to protest. Continue to have a voice. Continue to tell the truth. And eventually they're going to have no choice because we're the people. We're the ones that have the voice. We're the ones that put them in power. Michelle Clark says, New York City has 38,000 police officers. Every block is under surveillance for terrorists since 9/11. People cannot just run amok in New York City unless it is approved. It's impossible. Gnarly Cola says, nice to see you back on. LAPD is entertaining all the SJWs on the news right now. People are demanding the police pull out of Los Angeles. That should end well. Wow. 8 days. This is the 8th day now of protests. The police are being investigated now. The Minneapolis police. Unbelievable, man. Like he was begging for his life, and they just took it. Disgusting. It's just disgusting. Jason Garza says, Anthony, he made all the white-only signs in public go away. Peace is the way. I agree. Peace is the way. Jason Berube says, wasn't taking a knee peaceful protest. What people did that people blasted them. It sucks that people are rioting, but it also sucks that we have racism and hate in places that are higher ups. So let's make a change, right? Obama, he was the first black president. To me, that shows that things are changing. I believe that they will continue to change. Swag Boy says, you can restore those businesses. We cannot restore lost life. There's no justification for robbing other people's businesses. You can't just restore people's businesses. Those are people's lives. You're destroying lives by stealing from people's businesses. You can't just restore businesses. Saying that is just beyond ignorant. You can't just restore people's businesses. People's businesses are their lives. Those are small business owners that own those businesses. You are destroying their businesses. You're taking from your neighbors. You can't just destroy your neighbors' businesses and think that that's okay. That's ignorant. That's extremely ignorant. Learn to respect your neighbor. Have respect for yourself, your neighbor, your cities, your streets. Have respect for everything. The second you lose respect, it's over. Gnarly Cola says the destruction of businesses involve fires, spreading, destroying livelihoods. If you don't think destroying businesses is destroying lives, then you are just beyond ignorant. and have no clue. Ben says, words of truth, keep up the great work, Rich. Hey, man, my pleasure, man. Infinite Possibility says, every country has a secret acceptable casualty number. Yeah, I hope. No, I think Reefer joint's fine. I've been in touch with him. Infinite Possibility says, the news is garbage. Michelle Clark says, New York City is very corrupt. They do not want the National Guard to come in because those guys with military experience and discipline will see all the dirty laundry of de Blasio and Cuomo and take power. Wow. Mr. Lou says, Rich, I'm Haitian. It's definitely with us. We support the movement. Haitian is the first Black republic since 1804. We got our independence through violence. I disagree with you, Mr. Lou, man. Your attitude is really bad, man. It's really scary, actually. And it's sad that you think that you're going to get what you want through violence. I'm almost speechless. It's really, really sad that you think that the only way you're going to get a voice is through violence. You will not be remembered, Mr. Lou, with the way you think. You will not be remembered. But I promise you, anybody that acts in peace, they will be remembered. But if you act in violence, you will not be remembered. I promise you. You will not be remembered. Frank says, peaceful until nightfall. There are peaceful protests, but Antifa is the problem, not peaceful protesters. Yep. There's non-peaceful protesters that are professionals at looting and rioting, that are creating this mob mentality and that are destroying the country. And we got to come together to protect this country so that this doesn't happen. Gnarly Cola says, it's improved a lot today. France, on the other hand. Well, this is what I'm saying. It's going to continue to get worse and worse and worse because people are going to continue to just start joining this mob mentality. And we cannot allow this to continue. This needs to stop. Jason says, these riots have been different. Police are being more violent. I'm not saying all protesters are being good. Some are taking advantage and making others look bad. 2000, the year of the dragon, says the protesters will come out at night and start destroying things. This is disgusting. Anthony Rice says it had to take George dying for people to come together. Sad. It's very sad. May George rest in peace. Okay, so now Biden is live talking about Biden is saying our country is crying out for leadership. Wow, it's crazy. Mr. Lou says, when I say rob the rich, I mean do not damage our own country. If you are looting, riot the rich companies that are insured. Rob the rich corporations. Bro, do you think that that's actually happening? Swag Boy says that does not work. All you have to do is wait for those peaceful protests to be over, then nothing happens. White supremacy must be burned to the ground. I see peaceful protesting happening right now. And then at nighttime, I see a bunch of Neanderthals and professional looters that are taking advantage of a situation. That's all I see. And I see people that are stealing and robbing the people. That's what I see. That's what I'm seeing. There's people that are owning these businesses that people are robbing and looting. And I'll never agree to that. I don't see people strategically robbing the rich corporations. How is that happening? I don't see that happening. So I just see a bunch of people acting like idiots. Peaceful protesting, I'm for that 100%. Do that all day, forever. Let's make a difference. Let's be intelligent. Let's continue to have a voice. Let's come together as people and let's continue to have a voice. Let's put the right people in power. We're the ones voting. Let's put the right people in power. If the wrong people are all in power, then let's have a voice and let's talk about it. Let's do something about it. Breaking a window and stealing from somebody isn't going to change that. Looting and stealing from people isn't changing anything. It's just looting and stealing from people. It's not changing anything. Ricky Don Walker says 2 groups of people, protesters and looters. Please understand that. No, I understand. There's peaceful protesting, and then there's riots, and there's looters, and there's opportunists. I totally understand. I'm just trying to say, when those people are destroying America, they're ruining it for all the people that do have businesses. Because those people that those guys are looting, they're looting from people that have real businesses. They're going to their business and they're finding everyone stealing from them. And then when they try to stop those people, they get assaulted. What's your explanation for that? There's no explanation for that type of violence. That is destroying America. And if it happens in Canada, it's destroying Canada. If it happens in France, it's destroying France. Anywhere where it's happening, it's destroying that country. We need more unity, yes. We need more intelligence. We need intelligence leading our nations. Intelligence. People with a voice. People with intelligence and people with a voice. People who know how to solve problems. Gnarly Cola says looting is followed by fires. Fires destroys jobs and homes. Unbelievable. Mr. Lou says we do not care about materialistic things. Who cares about high-end stores getting robbed? Who cares about jewelry stores getting robbed? Who cares about banks getting robbed? Definitely not me. Listen, man, you sound like a very, very, very angry person that has a lot of hate inside of you. And I feel sad for you, bro. I feel sad for you, bro. I honestly don't know what to say. Your solution is you want everything to just get looted. You want the world to just get destroyed. That's your solution. And I think that that's sad because I don't agree with you. I don't agree that that will ever help anything get better. I don't see how your strategy is going to help anything get better. Anthony Rice says police aren't protecting black men. I live it and see it. Wow, it's sad, man. 2000, the year of the dragon, says these protests started in Australia and the UK. Something similar happened in the UK. Infinite Possibility says stop playing the racist card. Black people aren't treated any different. Well, it's very hard to say that if you're not in someone else's shoes. Samuel says burning down the country is not the answer. It's all politics. That's what needs to change. I agree. RG says this is organized protests. The protests that I see right now are all friendly. Mr. Liu says America is a violent nation. Drumwolf says rioters should be arrested. Protesters should be respected. I agree with that. That's very well said. Very well said, Drumwolf. Rioters should be arrested. Protesters should be respected. I agree. Ricky Don says, I see a second wave coming. COVID-19 is going to hit hard in the next few months. Yeah, especially now that everybody's outside rioting and protesting and out and about again. It's crazy.
The last 3 days, nearly 700 arrests here. Most of it for looting or violence.
Victor says, can't have peace on stolen land. Mr. Lou says, Malcolm X was marching and protesting and got murdered by the American government. Mr. Lou says, the Black Panthers were formed to protect Black people and their leaders were murdered by the government. Jason Garza says, this is about civil rights. Victor says, Rich, America did not get its independence from Britain by singing Kumbaya. So what, you think that, what do you think the violence is going to create? What do you guys think this violence is going to solve? Explain it to me. I'm confused. How you guys think that destroying and stealing and injuring and assaulting other people is going to solve what? Explain. Mr. Lou says, NFL players took a knee during the national anthem to bring attention to social injustice and were called sons of bitches by the President of the United States of America. Jason Garza says, this is about civil rights to all citizens. What happened to GRB? Well, they're up from 50 cents to $4.63 they hit today. So hopefully you took your profit. And they had a nice little pullback, which I believe is a buying opportunity. And then we'll see what they do tomorrow. I mean, the stock is up 600%. From 50 cents, it was almost up 1,000%. It went from 50 cents and almost hit $5 today. It hit 463. And you're asking what happened. I don't know. Stock went up from 50 cents to almost $5. It went up almost 1,000%. And it had a little bit of a pullback. Probably shorted. And probably come back up. Maybe tomorrow. Stay tuned. CEO is creepy? CEO of what? Victor says, I love it, but America cannot reform itself. The police cannot reform themselves. They refuse to. Mr. Lou says, we tried the peaceful way. What are you solving by looting? Why do you loot at night? Why are you looting at night? Why aren't you looting during the day? The CEO on GRB seems shady? That's a weird statement. Anthony Rice says, Rich, come live the Black experience. What is that? What do you mean by that? Jason says, if you don't like the United States, vote. Yo, Reefer, what's up, brother? Yo, Reefer, you should call me, bro. Let's talk about this. This is crazy, man. I want to know what you're seeing out there. People have been asking for you. Where's Reefer? So Anthony and Lou think that the solution is to riot and to rob the banks and to steal and to destroy all the businesses and to burn everything down. That's what they think is going to change America. I totally disagree. I think that that is a very, very weak mentality. I think it's a very, very wrong mentality. I think it's a very dangerous mentality. I think it's a destructive mentality. And I think that that mentality will destroy America. And I'm very scared of people that think like that. That type of mentality will actually destroy America. It's not going to make America better. It's going to destroy America.
No one wants anyone losing their lives. No one wants anyone losing their property. But if we don't stand up for the First Amendment right for the next person, then we will lose out.
Jeff Daniels says police abuse everyone, not just the blacks.
Or whoever you support, Joe Biden, whoever it is, leadership is standing up for the right of
Reefer Al Joint says my grandfather lost his store to a riot, took the insurance money to Puerto Rico, and lived like a king to his dying day.
I'm not exactly sure what's hurt here, no matter what time.
Mr. Lou says Martin Luther King may be seen as a hero, but I'll bet you $1 million he'd rather be alive right now. When you get in front of millions and millions of people like he did, and you start a revolution like he did, and you change the world like he did, you have to know that your life is always at risk. So you have to understand that when you put yourself at that level, you have to know that your life is always at risk. You don't create a movement like he did and be revered as a hero like he is to this day without creating a movement. He created a movement.
It shows you that Americans are fed up with the system. They're fed up with this administration. They're tired of seeing young people, black men, killed, brought in life, like police not held accountable. They're fed up with the current economic situation.
Reefer Al Joint says Malcolm X was killed 3 New York City streets away from my front door. This has been going on for 400 years. Dynamic B says the riot is at night. No, I know, it's crazy. So every night it's orchestrated, it's coordinated. So it needs to stop. It needs to stop. The only people that agree with you guys, Mr. Lou and Anthony Rice, are you guys agree with each other. You guys are very violent people, and you agree that violence is the solution. And I disagree with you guys. I think it's people like you that are destroying America. Your mentality is wrong. It's the wrong mentality. It's a destructive mentality that's destroying our country. It's destroying this. It's that mentality that's got people destroying my country here in Canada. We're having problems here in Canada too. We're having people looting here too. And not everybody has insurance. So what if you don't have insurance? Jason says it's not just George Floyd. There are many others before him, and the way from slavery, the sores have not been healed but covered.
Most of us cannot wait to November to address the current reality. Derek, I want you to stand by Abby Phillips with us as well. Abby, I think that it was very clear the statement we heard the president deliver yesterday was in marked contrast to what we heard from the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden earlier today. Very different words.
It could not have been more different, Wolf. And that was the whole point on Biden's part, is to draw that contrast, not just in terms of empathy with the protesters who are on the street talking about how the country moves past this moment.
Reefer Al Joint says, I've been in it, pulled over in every state that I've been in. I've been in front of 3 judges, and my 4th Amendment rights were violated last year. You'll never be able to convince me. Sharky says, organized chaos. Ricky Dawn says, but this is the largest protest. It will be heard. Well, it's being heard. Sharky Tor says, media is our enemy. Media is the virus. Sharky Tor says, violence is not the answer. I will never agree that violence is the answer. Max says, without smartphones, social media, this would never hit the news. This cop looks like he did this before with the gang of 4 or 10. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, probably did. Looks like a crooked cop. Reefer says, what you are not seeing is, first, they are trying to convince you that coronavirus don't exist, and this is just a continuation of their folly. 4 police officers involved in the murder of George Floyd, and not one thought to stop in before it was too late. How do you think that happened? This is institutional racism in our society. Michelle Clark says the cop had a choice, especially because the person was handcuffed at the time he was being choked. I agree. That cop is obviously a dirty cop, and he knew exactly what he was doing. And Floyd pleaded for his life, and he didn't give it to him. He killed him. And it's just disgusting. But I still will never agree that violence is the solution. That robbing and stealing and injuring and killing and murdering and hurting innocent people is the solution. I'll never agree to that. It's not in my nature. Ricky Don says the people saying violence is the key to stop violence. Oh my God, do you hear yourself? It's hypocrite. Yeah, I don't understand, man. It's a purge. It's definitely like a real life purge. That's what it seems like. Gunarly Cola says cops will always protect their own, regardless of race or crime. Reefer Al Joint says, if you've never been in a riot, then your opinion technically is baseless. I was born in a riot in the rights is 77, 78, and the Kiko Garcia riots. Any revival on Trip? I'd have to look into it, bro. Reefer Al Joint says, Rich, I love you, but before 1958, Puerto Ricans were sentenced to 10 years in prison for showing an American flag or singing the Puerto Rican national anthem. Reefer Al Joint says, every American official that's been elected gets a pension until the day they die, and their wives continue to collect their pension too. Yeah, so what do you, like, I don't understand what you mean by that. I'm not surprised in that. It's the same thing here in Canada. That's what you get for being a politician, right? I was saying from the start of this stream that the problem is politics. It's not racism. It's politics. This is a political agenda. This is an attempt to remove Trump from office, to make him look incompetent. That's what this is. 2000 says, the problem is we have too many police that have nothing to do, so they attack innocent people or do something to do. Possible. Infinite Possibility says, mob mentality takes over with too many people. Yeah. That's when it gets scary, and that's when it gets dangerous, and that's when it gets out of control, and that's when it just becomes a nightmare. And that's when all of a sudden America's destroyed. And do we want that? Do we really want that? Come on, guys. Christine says, hi, Rich. Thank you for this video. This needs to be watched. Hey, my pleasure. That's why we're live right now. We're just talking about it. I'm watching CNN, and I'm watching what they're talking about while we're live. And I want to see what they're talking about and what's going on, and we'll just talk about it. Gnarly Cola says, there's good causes to be heard at these protests, like mandatory body cams, mental health evaluations for police. Haven't heard it yet. 2000 says, George Floyd's brother said that destroying things will not bring his brother back. I agree. Sharky Source says, paid looters, then the sheep follow. Yep. Too Breezy says, Antifa is not the problem. They have nothing to do with it. The Antifa Twitters inciting violence were white supremacist groups. Flingshot says, it's a proven that riots are a mindless act. The bad leading the mad. I agree. Reefer Al Joint says, Rich, I would love to tell you the story on how my aunt sued the NYPD with Giuliani as a legal witness. She brokered a deal not to sue the city and took each cop for $75K. Dirty cops, man. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not saying what the cops did was right. Obviously, what the cop did was disgusting and he should be punished, and all the cops should be punished. All cops that are dirty cops that do the wrong thing should be punished. But there's bad people everywhere. Shouldn't use that as a reason to destroy the country and make this about racism, because I don't think this was about racism. I think that cop would have killed anybody under his knee. I think that was a dirty cop, and that cop would have killed anybody. He would have killed me under his knee. That's what scares me. I don't think it had anything to do with racism. And from what I've heard, this cop knew George Floyd. They had a history. So there's something behind this, and that cop wanted to kill George Floyd. He didn't know that somebody was filming. Reefer Al Joint says the Boston Tea Party was a riot, and it was also the birth of a nation.
Trust AAG for the best reverse mortgage solution. Call 1-800-741-1777.
Reefer Al Joint says, come on now. My grandfather got almost $1 million for his ride damage in his store. All of these places are going to get paid. So, Reefer, what about the house that got burnt with the family in it? And then the police weren't allowed to come and save those people, and those people eventually got saved out of their home. People are having their houses burnt with people inside of them. You think that that's okay? If you're not worried about all the businesses getting destroyed, then...
Yeah, it's Rich TV Live. Smart Z on the mic, yeah. We're gonna do it like this, y'all.
I mean, that's one example of one person. But what about all the people that don't have insurance, that weren't prepared for this? What about the people that are being assaulted? What about that woman that got assaulted with her husband when they were trying to protect their store and she got assaulted? What about her? You're looking at it just like, oh yeah, everyone's just going to get their money back. But it's not that easy. It's not that easy. This is the times when insurance companies go bankrupt, Reefer, and then they can't even afford to pay all the premiums. They look for every reason not to pay the premiums. Mr. Joe Fly says, this is an engineered collapse of America. Seems like it, right? Seems like it. Strategic collapse. Infinite Possibility says Trump has 300 million people to take care of. He can't be everything everywhere at once. Reefer Al Joint says, you know, my grandfather says he's glad they burned the store. Yeah, but what about all the people that are not glad, Reefer? And I guarantee you at the time, your grandfather wasn't happy about it. I'll guarantee it. Probably created a lot of anxiety for him. Or maybe he did like it. But I can guarantee you there's a lot of people that don't like it. Flingshot Life says, yes, the soldiers will be aggressive. The majority are war-hardened and frustrated with the idiots. I say arm every business owner with guns if someone breaks into their store. I agree with you. I'd be protecting my store. 100%. I'd be protecting my store. And that's only going to create more violence. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to let people destroy my store and steal everything. I mean, it's crazy.
So that's just one of the many people we're seeing here marching in Hollywood that just sadly, well, however many people are out there, it's a lot.
Reefer Aljoin says, speak what you know. Every store owner back then on the street took off and lived comfortable lives after the riot. So they were forced to move. How is that good? How is that a good thing? I'm confused. I'm so confused. What about the people that are comfortable and they don't want to move? And now their cities are destroyed. So you're saying that everyone has to move now, Reefer? What about people that don't want to move? And their cities are destroyed and they've been burnt to the ground. I'm seeing peaceful protests. Peaceful protests, putting the right people in power, putting the right people in politics, that's what needs to happen. There's clearly a lot of the wrong politicians. That's for sure. Everywhere, in all levels of government. There's no doubt about that. But having a peaceful protest, having an intelligent voice, especially with social media now, with alternative media like social media, like what we're doing right now on YouTube, that's the solution, in my opinion. Not destroying and stealing and robbing people. I think that that's ridiculous. And stealing and destroying and ruining our country and burning our country to the ground, that's ridiculous. I don't agree with that, and I'll never agree with it. $2,000 the year the dragon says some people in power should be kicked out. We need them limits. We also need younger generations in office. Congress was supposed to be serving the country, not a full-time job. I agree. Mr. Liu says Obama wasn't aggressive enough. Obama didn't pick a side. Obama should have demanded reparations for American descendants of slaves in America. Gnarly Kona says they discriminate equally, in my opinion, especially if you're intoxicated. Am I scared? Bro, believe me, man, I'm the last guy that's scared. Trust me, I don't live in fear. What I'm scared of is watching America burn. I'm scared of people like you that think it's okay to just destroy and steal and rob. That's scary to me. People who think it's okay to assault people in their places of business. That's scary to me. People that think it's okay to assault a business owner. That's scary to me. A man who thinks it's okay to assault a woman who's pregnant. That's scary to me. There's no place for that, in my opinion, anywhere in the world. You keep saying that America was founded on violence. We've evolved. We need to continue to evolve. Destroying America is not going to give us a better country. Rioting the streets is not going to give us a better future. Destroying the businesses is not going to help our economy. Reefer Aljoin says Haiti is the birth of the assembly line. Henry Ford took it from them. I know a lot about Haiti. I have a house in the Dominican Republic. It borders an island with Haiti. I know a lot about Haitians. I know a lot about Haiti. Believe me. I will never agree to violence. Ever agree to violence. I will never agree to violence. Unless it's being used for protection. Self-defense. Reefer Aljoin says, yeah, I am indigenous people. Here in America, we acted in peace and we got annihilated. But you're still holding on to what happened hundreds and hundreds of years ago. We need to evolve. What happened hundreds of years ago can't change where we are today. We have to evolve as a people. We have to evolve as a people. We have to evolve. I'm not saying we should forget about our past. We need to remember But we need to evolve. We need to be intelligent human beings. We need to use our voices, use social media, and evolve. We need to evolve. We can't riot to get what we want. We can't rob. We can't steal. We can't take. We can't injure. We can't hurt. We can't assault others to get what we want. I will never agree with that. I will never agree with that. Reefer Aljoin says, lucky Luciano, vicious killer, negotiated the deal so that the American forces can march through Italy in World War II. Finger Ook Stephanie says, if you want to talk about bad conditions, let's take a look at the native reservations. Mario says, nothing more than a distraction from Epstein, from Obamagate, from COVID, from American sellouts. Who knows what's going on right now? But I see mainly very peaceful protests right now happening. I'm being controlled by the media? Why? Because you want to just think it's okay to just rob banks? You think it's okay to rob banks? And I'm the one that's being controlled by the media? You want to rob banks, bro. You got issues. You want to rob banks. You want to steal from the rich. You clearly have a lot of anger. And you want to take it out on breaking things and taking things. I've been buying and selling. I've been flipping GRB and then I've been buying it back. I now own 6,000 shares. RG says they will get owned by the National Guard. Trump is not Obama. Oh, I agree. I agree. There's no doubt about that. Mr. Lou says the media shows you what they want you to see. So then show me, Mr. Lou. What's going on? Show me. Tell me. What do you see? You're telling me you want to loot and you want to rob banks and it's okay to steal and rob and take. I don't agree with that. It's not my mentality. I don't need to steal and rob and take. Reefer Aljoin says, Rich, my wife is a nurse and she's terrified of her racist coworkers along with several racist towns in our area. Desegregated happened in 1986. Blacks were forbidden to living our town from 60 years. I don't live in America. I'm in Canada. It's not like that here. So I can't obviously speak for you guys and how crazy it is over there. It obviously seems pretty crazy. But I'm watching a protest right now and I see lots of white people. Tons of white people. It's actually, I see more white people than black people. I see people hugging of every race, every culture. I see everybody protesting together as a nation. I don't see people divided. I don't see black people standing on one side and then white standing on the other. So I don't actually agree with what a lot of you guys are saying. Infinite Possibility says, that's what low-class people think, violence and riots. I know. This is what I'm trying to say. Why are people thinking it's okay to have violence and riots? It's really weird. It's really sad. It's really, really sad. Franco says, we went from all the attention and scare that came from COVID, and now all the attention has gone to riots. I think they're trying to push Trump out of office. All lives matter. I agree with you, Franco, 100%. Flingshot Life says, the fools are only going to get more soldiers patrolling. Of course. Obviously. Reefer Aljoin says, Google Ocoee, Florida race riots. It was horrific. They killed like 300 in one night. Reefer Aljoin says, Rich, I live in a town that forbid African Americans to walk or live in it for 64 years. But you're still living in the past though, Reefer, bro. You're talking about stuff that happened 64 years ago. We're in 2020, buddy. You're talking about surviving a KKK rally in 1974. It's 2020, bro. Like, I mean, maybe it's happening in America, but it's not like that here in Canada at all. It's not. At least not in my house. I don't come from that premise. Maybe some of you guys do and you see it differently, but I don't see it. I don't see color when I look at people. Franco says, no need for riots. All lives matter. Peace and love. Let's not make a few bad apples ruin peace and love. I agree 100%. Reefer says, mix the average American black man gets stopped by the police once a week. Once a week? Come on, bro. That's an exaggeration, man. Look, Steven Jackson is speaking right now in Houston. Let's hear what he has to say.
And in beautiful ways this week, but I'm telling you, we are not leaving. We demanded justice, and I'm tired of seeing that. I'm not gonna see her hurt every day like this. We need justice. We demand it, and some kind of way, goddamn, we gonna get it. Thank y'all for coming, but this shit has to stop, man. It has to stop.
It definitely has to stop, and we definitely gonna get justice, but we're gonna get it in a non-violent way. Because if we act violently, we're not going to be heard. You will not be heard when you act violently. Believe me, you will just be thrown in jail. Nothing good will come out of that. Anthony Rice says, I'm not a violent person. I'm very angry, Rich. I wish you could understand that. I'm a peaceful protester. Hey, I'm good with that. There's nothing wrong with protesting peacefully, Anthony. I want you to. Please, have a voice. Get on social media. Get on YouTube. Talk about it. I believe that's how we have a real voice. I don't think taking a brick and throwing it through a window and then grabbing jewelry and stealing it is truly going to help America. I don't. I don't think lighting a house on fire with people inside is going to help America. I think what we're doing is we're giving an excuse for people to be violent. We're giving an excuse for people to be destructive. I don't agree with that. I'll never agree with that. But having a voice, being heard, that I agree with. Have a voice, be heard, get on social media, protest peacefully, but don't grab a brick and throw it through a window. Don't light a house on fire. Don't attack another person. Don't do that, because then you actually lose your credibility. Let's be smarter than that. Because if we protest peacefully and we continue to, and everybody does, then they have to listen to us. They're forced to listen to us. They can't just turn a blind eye if everybody's protesting every single day peacefully. But if we protest like animals and Neanderthals and violently, then they're going to bring in the National Guard and they're going to just obliterate everybody. How is that going to solve anything? That's just stupidity. It's not going to solve anything. Reefer Aljoin says, a friend of mine, he was a white kid with a smart mouth. Cops to him off the Queensboro Bridge. Google it. Yeah, so, I mean, he's a white guy and they threw him off the bridge. So that's what I mean. Like, it doesn't matter. There's going to be stupid cops and they're going to do stupid things. I don't truly believe this is a race war. I think this is a police issue with the police just being, that police officer specifically, or maybe even that division of the police just being corrupt. I think that's what it is. And it's sad, but unfortunately, I believe that he could have killed anybody. I think that was just a dirty cop. Brent says, hey, what's up, Brent? Says, divide and conquer. It's definitely divide and conquer, that's for sure. Reefer Al Joint says, no, here in America, the police have carte blanche with minorities. You don't get it. It's horrible to have to live under these conditions. It's very scary. Why would you want to go into a riot, right? You know nothing good's going to come out of it. So if you go and you put yourself in a riot, chances are something bad's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen to you. Something bad's going to happen to somebody else. Something bad's going to happen. So regardless of what you think and what your belief is and your opinion is, so Steven Jackson right now is speaking how George Floyd was actually rehabilitating himself. And that's the hard part, is he was rehabilitating himself and he ended up dying while he was trying to help other people in the community. And that's such a very sad situation. It's a very sad story. But we got to think about that. We got to think about what happened here. And there was a life that was taken. And we got to focus on that. We can't take that hanger and use it as fuel to grab a brick and throw it through a window. Grab a brick and use it to smash it on someone else's head. That's the last thing we should be doing. I agree. We need to get through the pandemic. Mr. Lou says Christopher Columbus is celebrated for finding the new world. He was nothing more than a Mads murderer. Who cares how history remembers you as long as you bring about positive change? Well, so Steven Jackson is saying he's ready to fight for justice. But he's not destroying properties. He's not grabbing a brick and throwing it through a window. He's not assaulting anybody. He's using his words, his power, his influence to make a change, to make a difference. This is how we can make a difference. This is a new world in 2020. We have the power of social media. We have alternative media and alternative news.
It's done. She's 6 years old.
If you're scared, you shouldn't be a cop. Well, I think everyone right now that's a police officer has to be scared because police officers are under attack. And I mean, there's been police officers that have been shot in America. It's got to be scary to be a police officer. Has to be. Mr. Lou says, Rich, I respect our differences of opinions. We can have a debate. I'm not saying looting is right, but I understand the reasons. Just be respectful and don't attack me as a person. I'm not attacking you as a person, Mr. Lou. I just don't think you should be looting. I'm not going to have anybody on my show sit here and say that looting is right. I'm not going to have anybody on my show saying that stealing is right. I'm not going to have anybody on my show saying that burning houses down is right. I'm not going to have anyone on my show say that injuring another person is right. I've seen videos of store owners being assaulted. I've seen women being assaulted by men. I've seen people assaulting pregnant women. There's no place for that anywhere in the world, and I will never, ever condone it. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, I find it disgusting that someone has the right to go into my business and destroy my business. I'd be standing there with a gun in America protecting my business. I'm telling you right now. All right? So you have a strong opinion. I also have a strong opinion. I do not agree that you should be destroying businesses. Why is Steven Jackson, NBA champion, huge celebrity, basketball superstar, he's not destroying businesses. He's fighting by using his influence. He's using his influence. But when you say that you think robbing banks is a good thing, you say a lot about yourself, bro. Understand, you're saying a lot about yourself when you say that looting's okay, robbing's okay, stealing's okay, destroying's okay. You're talking about destroying your own country that you live in. It's not okay. Why do you think that that's okay? How do you think that that's okay? It's not okay. Look at what Rishi is saying. People need to stop destroying small businesses. Not everyone has insurance. Exactly. Infinite Possibility says these cops that draw down on people have no choice. No choice. Scary situation for these police. Brent says by radical left Antifa to cause civil unrest in the United States, to overtop of the government to start up their socialism prodigy. It's all part of the plan to divide us, and they will conquer us. That's what they're doing. Reefer says, just like the military, a coup with fear in their heart is useless. Brent Jagger says, exactly, that's why bricks are dropped off on corners for rioters, that a peaceful protest at the beginning, but once dark comes, are when Antifa comes, all hell breaks loose. It's crazy, man. These are coordinated attacks. Infinite Possibility says, people before TV must have had good lives. George's family right now, George Floyd's family right now are talking to the media. It's very sad. Reefer says any Antifa members got to be at least 95 years old if they're still alive. Antifa is white supremacist code for saying Jewish. Brent Jagger says CNN is the worst propaganda to watch. If you want the truth, watch One American News. Thank you, Brent. I don't even know if I get that channel, but I'll try to find out. I just like to watch CNN because they're just constantly attacking Trump. So I'm just trying to see what they got to say about Trump right now. Reefer says Twitter took down a white supremacist organization that posted a fake Antifa page today. Channel 347 on DirecTV. Thanks, bro. Bernadette says, I'm not agreeing with people who destroy the country, but you don't know what it means black in America. Yeah, and I don't, right? But what I'm trying to say is I'm watching everybody be very peaceful, and it looks to me that it's not just black Americans, but it's everybody that's protesting peacefully together, which shows me that the country isn't divided. Shows me that people do want to get along. People do want a great America. They do want a future. But then at nighttime, the hooligans come out and they destroy everything. Why is that okay? And why would anyone want to be a part of that? It's not okay. It's not okay to destroy people's businesses. Those are people's livelihoods. Anthony Rice says that cop wouldn't have killed anyone. You lost me there, Rich. Why do you say that, Anthony? He had his knee on his neck. It could have been a white person. It could have been me. He's just a bad cop, in my opinion. He's just a crooked cop. Okay. Reefer Aljoin says, y'all are funny. Y'all like hip hop was because they looted all the stores and took all the DJ equipment. Trust me, there will be good coming out of this. Mr. Liu says riots will stop when all of the officers involved are arrested. But the riots have nothing to do with the officers being arrested. The riots have to do with people trying to take advantage of a situation. It's the exact same thing that happened here in Vancouver when they rioted because the Vancouver Canucks lost. They destroyed our city. It's just opportunists taking advantage of the situation to steal some watches, steal some jewelry. It's stupid. It's stupid. Nothing good's going to come out of it. Nothing good is coming out of the looting. It's the peaceful protests that are actually making the change. It's not the looting. The looting is just hooligans that are taking advantage of a situation. That's all it is. If everybody stays at home, the idiots will be exposed. But if you go outside and you just want to be a part of it, that's when it gets out of control, and that's when it gets hectic. Reefer says, I get treated differently when I walk in a room and every white person looks at me. I get treated differently when the police come to me when I'm eating in a bar and my wife in Phoenix, Arizona. You know what? Like I said, I don't live in America. I live in Canada. I've never experienced that in America. As a Canadian, I have a lot of Americans that come to the Dominican Republic that are African American, and we all just hang out and we have a great time, and there's no racism. But that's in the Dominican Republic. I've been in America. I've hung out with different cultures. We've hung out, never had problems, never been a racist issue. But, you know, you guys live there. You guys know more than me, so I don't know. If that's what it is, then that's what it is. Franco says, we've all been victims of discrimination and racism in the world. Don't allow a few bad apples separate everyone. Peace and love. We are in a pandemic. These corona will keep spreading the virus. Yeah, nobody's talking about coronavirus anymore now. Everyone wants to talk about this looting and robbing and rioting and burning the streets down and protesting. And like I said, I have no issues with protesting, peaceful protesting. But when you start looting and robbing, you're not changing anything. You're just stealing. And people are trying to justify it. There's nothing to be justified. It's stupid. It's Neanderthal attitude. And it's opportunists just taking advantage of a situation. That's all it is. Gnarly Cola says they also prevent the fire department from doing their jobs. Exactly. Exactly. So now fires can't be put out because people are putting out fires in buildings downtown when they should be putting out fires with people that are potentially getting their houses burnt with their families inside. It's disgusting. Jason Garza says, Boston Tea Party was a sneak attack. Read a history book. Green Bull says, TV has been messing with our heads for decades and based on Sigmund Freud's findings because of his evil nephew. We just had a COVID bailout today, too. Mr. Lou says the jogger that got killed was killed 2 months before the modern-day lynching was even reported. The police department tried to cover it up. The police department didn't even make an arrest. Obviously, when stuff like that's happening, obviously that's corrupt. I don't agree with any of that. I'm not disagreeing with you guys. Like I said, I'm in Canada. I'm not in America. I just don't want to see the country burn to the ground. 4 police officers shot in St. Louis. Like, police officers are being shot, guys. Like, police officers are being shot. So this is getting crazy, guys. Look at that. Looters ran over a police officer. They ran over the police officer right on camera. Like, what's going on here? This is okay? You guys think this is okay? Come on, guys. There's no excuse for any of this. It's disgusting. Franco says, no need to riot. Let's not allow this to separate us. Peace and love. Pray for George. We are in a pandemic. Did everyone forget? Man, it's crazy. Infinite Possibility says, we are not in a pandemic. This is just what the media wants us to think. Throw out your TV.
As the governor in a state of emergency and basically take over, we have to take over the mayor's job. We have to displace the mayor. The mayor's always
Wow. This is getting crazy. Hold on one second. This is getting crazy.
Get on the track. Perfect, yeah. I don't do this for the clout. I don't do this for the clout. You can just get off my clout. You can just get off my clout. Haters, stop bringing me down. I know you loving the sound. I know you loving the sound. Baby, just look at me now. Henny in my cup, yeah, straight up. I don't fuck with no ice cubes. Diamond stay dripping. I'm a white boy, nice whip with some nice moves. Bruce Lee smoking loose leaves. You swear I'm doing some kung fu. Got a trunk full of birds. Sit down, we playing duck, duck, duck goose. Yeah. I ain't forgetting I've been here before. Haters are mad, will I even the score? I lay on the beach, take a peek at the shore. My wife is a diamond, you sleep with a whore. Butler is serving my chef, he stay cooking the mids, so dirty that mean niggas looking. And if you get caught, then you best to be cooking the recipe. Don't guess it has to be drinking. This is no kid and play, I got shit to say. I got homies in the CFL to the NBA, word of juice anyways. I don't do this for the clout. I don't do this for the clout. You can just get off my clout. You can just get off my clout. Haters, stop bringing me down. I know you loving the sound. I know you loving the sound. Baby, just look at me now. Talking my shit. This some rocky shit. 3 seconds, I'm a blast off. Alpha Omega, see, I am the past, present, future, really no mask off. Fucking with rich, we getting rich. Yeah, you know my stack strong. Smoking in Philly is silly. It's silly how many trolls trying to tag along. Blaze through, and I'm back again. I got the keys and you can't get in. I do not take an L, so I just had to win. I run with killers and shooters and savages. I do not listen to you. I do not miss off the cue. I'm in the midst of Peru. Make no mistake, you in the lake, so they go fishing for you. Shooting like my name is Juice. Yo, I mix and produce. Christopher's loose. Listen to haters, they broke, but it's funny. I'm getting money like I'm Mr. Magoo. Greedy as fuck, but I'm humble as shit. I'm lyrical with it, you humble as shit. Ghost Riders writing up all of your head. Your bitches with me and she sucking the dick. I don't do this for the clout. I don't do this for the clout. You can just get off my clout. You can just get off my clout. Haters, stop bringing me down. I know you loving the sound. I know you loving the sound. Baby, just look at me now.
So far, all I see is peaceful protests everywhere. So this is good. This is what I want to see. But at nighttime, it just becomes hooliganism. Mr. Lou says, Rich, you sound like you support Trump and his bigotry. It's a very weird comment to make, bro. It's a very weird comment to make. I support Trump and his bigotry. Don't understand what you mean by that and don't know where you got that from. First of all, I'm not even American, so I don't even vote. So not sure where you got that from or where you're making that statement from. But you've made a lot of comments. You made a comment saying that you wanted to rob a bank, that you wanted to loot, and that you thought it was okay to steal. And now you're saying that I support Trump and his bigotry. So you're saying that I'm insulting you, but really you're the one insulting me. Because I'm not the one saying that people should be robbing a bank. You're the one saying that. You're the one that has those issues. I don't have those issues. You do. That's a fact. I don't have any issues. I don't support anything or anybody. I support love, peace, and harmony. That's all I support. And I love all my brothers and sisters. Anyone who's been watching me or knows me personally knows I love all my brothers and sisters. So I don't know about supporting Trump and his bigotry. I don't know what you mean by that comment, but I don't agree with that comment whatsoever. Don't feel bad because you're trying to take back what you said. You're the one that said that stealing from banks and stealing from businesses and stealing from stores was okay. You publicly said that, not me. Just remember that. Remember, we're public, right? Okay, just remember that. You're the one that said that, not me. You got to live with your words, not me. Reefer says, my grandfather served in the last segregated unit in the United States Army. Racism is institutionalized here. Maybe it is. Maybe it's an American thing, but I've actually never seen it because whenever I meet Americans, I don't see it. But hey, I mean, you might see it. I don't see it. But I'm in Canada, so it's maybe different because I'm a Canadian. Max says, if the cop goes to court and found not guilty, God help us all. That will get worse. He will come to earth. Yeah, well, no, he's clearly going to be guilty. But what type of sentence will he get? MC says, an eye for an eye leaves the world blind. It's a good point. Reefer Aljoint says, a friend of mine, Michael Stewart, beaten to death by 2 police officers, no charges. So what's the solution, Reefer? You're trying to say that all police officers are criminals? They're all crooked cops? So what's the solution? New testing, new training for police officers? What's the solution? Now you're saying that all police officers are just beating people and killing them? Stop the riots, man. Oh, wow. Sulta gave a $10 donation. Thank you. What are your top... Is that a $10 donation, or what is PLN? I don't even know what PLN stands for. What's your top 5 crypto rich picks for 2020? Wow. Bitcoin, obviously. Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, and Bitcoin Cash. It's my top 5. They beat her in pajamas. I mean, there's some bad cops up there, obviously. Try to avoid them. You don't want to have to meet a cop. Why do you got to meet a cop for? You're clearly doing something wrong, right? So you got to be careful. Stay away from the cops. Try to avoid the cops under all circumstances, especially if you know that there's a lot of bad cops. But how do we solve this problem? Go back to training and testing? Like, how do we solve these problems? Yeah, I mean, obviously, Reefer, you've seen some different things, right? You've seen some different police acting different ways, so obviously you have a different opinion about it, but I don't see, like, how rioting and destroying stores and burning houses is going to change that. Let's think about the root of the problem and think of a solution to the problem instead of destroying businesses and burning the country to the ground. How is that helping anything? Yeah, I don't know, Reefer, you're talking about some stuff that I don't witness this stuff. So it's crazy. I don't know what to say. You're talking about stuff that I just don't experience. So I'm not used to seeing that type of racism. Reefer says right now they are hush-hush on a video that was released of a police officer protesting, flashing white power hand signals. $2,000 the year the dragon says, I seen a white woman got dragged out of her cart and beaten up. Their body cam footage that they don't show on the news. Wow. Infinite Possibility says, look inside of you, and once you love yourself, you can love others. I agree with that statement. Very powerful statement. Where do you buy rubber bullets? No idea. Reefer All Joint says there's been no legitimate complaint or filing or proof of a home being burnt. I'm just telling you guys videos that people told me they've seen.
Walk across this park to St. John's Church for that photo opportunity to raise the Bible. Well, you know, it's interesting, Alex.
Yeah, it's rich
All right, guys, we've been live
live.
long enough. I can't answer everyone's questions and answers, so I'm gonna go. Stay safe. Make love, not war. Peaceful protests, yes. I pray for the families of the victims. Terrible situation. So, you know, we pray for the victims and the families that have been affected by this. Guys, make America great again. Don't burn. Don't throw bricks. Don't destroy buildings. Don't loot. Don't assault other Americans. Don't hurt other people in Canada. Don't loot in Canada. Don't destroy Canada. Don't destroy America. Don't destroy your country. Don't destroy your cities. Don't destroy your homes. Don't destroy anything. Make love, not war. Stay safe. This is your boy Rich to be live. If you're not winning, you're not watching. Stay sane, guys. Use your brain. Stay sane and stay safe. Don't listen to those idiots that are saying, yeah, go rob a bank. That's an idiot talking. You talking about robbing a bank? You an idiot. Straight idiot talk. Idiots talking shit like that, man. Idiots. Don't be robbing no banks. Come on, man. Don't be robbing.